Hi there and welcome along to Tax Week 2016 on Property Tribes, and all this week we're going to be sharing tax related content to celebrate the launch of Rita's new property record keeping app, and I'm joined by Michael Wright from Rita. And Michael, very exciting that you've launched this app for landlords. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, well, we wanted to design really a next stage on from our record keeping spreadsheet that we have at the moment. We wanted to give landlords a way of keeping records on the move, not just at home. So we wanted to give them the opportunity to use it on their phones, on their tablets. The app itself is available in the Android store and also in the iOS store. There is already a number of other apps out there at the moment for keeping records. In particular, there's some big named ones from the likes of Sage and QuickBooks and so forth, but they're more generalised to business itself. What we wanted really is something specifically for property. This is also tailored to the more smaller landlord, so those with say 1, 2, 3 properties, as just a simple way of getting their data recorded and making things more straightforward for when they come to file their tax return, but also as well giving them a chance to keep track of their income and expenses, see how profitable they are, and really make decisions throughout the year as and when they need to, rather than when they get a big tax bill at the end and things have been done.
And I think with the advent of Section 24, good record keeping is going to become even more important, isn't it?
Yes, I mean there's been a lot of changes as we know about, and I think at this stage, what with Brexit as well, there's a lot of uncertainty coming up, and really not just good record keeping, but really keeping on top of your taxes in general, making sure you're in the most efficient position. And this is just one of many stages you should go through in
keeping good records.
Yeah.
Now I've had a look at the app, and typically landlords are not very digitally minded. They do like their spreadsheets, but having looked at the app and seeing how simple and straightforward and intuitive it is to use, I think it's going to be a great way for landlords to actually engage with technology. And you've gone to a lot of trouble to make sure that it's really, really simple and intuitive, haven't you?
Yes, that's really the key, is to get landlords to use something that is very simple. There's very, very limited buttons on there, but because it's limited doesn't mean that you can't get good information from it. There's a good reporting feature in there, which can show graphical illustrations of your income and expenses, but also if you are still a fan of spreadsheets, there is also the option in there to email the reports to yourself, which will come in a spreadsheet form, and that can also be used if you wanted to email it to your accountant or to us.
So obviously the app's got kind of two main purposes from what you've been saying. The one is while you're maintaining and keeping your records up to date, you're getting a clear picture of how your profit and loss is developing. But at the end of the tax year, you've also got kind of a ready-made overview that you could send through to an accountant such as yourself for them to produce your tax return.
Yes, I mean there would be other pages that need to be filled in the tax return, say if you're employed or if you've got any other investments and dividends and so forth, but this will ensure that you've got the property pages side covered. Importantly as well, there's other things you can consider, such as if you sell the property in the future, it's always good to keep a record of any capital expenses that you've incurred, which you can claim when you sell the property to save capital gains tax, and there is a feature within the app which does allow you to keep a track of that. And additionally, I should mention as well that if you are going to be under inquiry from the Revenue and Customs, it's always good to have good record keeping in case they want to delve deeper into your affairs.
Indeed, and I can speak from experience on that front. Definitely, it does make very good sense to maintain professional records, and I'm really delighted that you've done this, Michael, because I think the whole way the private rented sector is moving is that landlords are going to have to become more professional. And one of the ways that they can do that is be much better about keeping proper records, and I think it will pay dividends when they come to do their tax return next year and we start to feel the effects of Section 24.
Yes, yeah, that's it entirely. And I think that's the key as well, having a simple way to do it and not want to deter landlords. Keeping it simple is key to encourage landlords to do it. I mean, we mentioned that it's free, but then also what's built into the app as well is there is a news feature, and no doubt we will be filling that up with all the latest news that's coming up in the coming year. Hopefully not too many more attacks on landlords, but we'll be there to alert the app users if and when there are any news items relevant for them.
Well, I think it's a fantastic initiative for landlords, Michael. Well done for producing it. Just remind us which operating systems they can use it on.
Okay, well, it's a mobile phone app, and you can download it from the iOS Apple Store, and you can also get it on Android, which is on the Play Store. You would need to search for Rita for Rent, all one word and no spaces between the Rita for Rent, and then that should come up. And as we said, it's free to download and use, and no in-app purchases, so yes.
Fantastic. Well, we'd like to encourage all landlords watching this to go and download the Rita app and do feedback on this thread what you think of it as well, because we'd be interested to learn that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we're very keen that we don't want this to be the final build. We want to keep improving it all the time, and if there are bits that users see that they want to improve, then we want to look at that, because ultimately we want the best user experience. So yeah, by all means share it on Property Tribes or emailing ourselves, and we'll get any issues ironed out.
Fantastic. So you can drop any questions you've got about the app on this thread as well, and do bear in mind that this is just the launch of Tax Week 2016 on Property Tribes, and for the coming week every day we'll be updating the site with new tax related content provided by Michael at Rita, so do tune in daily to find out more about landlord tax issues and ways that you can become more tax efficient as being a landlord. Michael will be sharing lots of really valuable information, so I hope you'll come back daily to check it out.